This is a video I've been meaning to make for a while now, actually for about 2 months, ever since Lerato Nxumalo made a post that went viral and sparked conversations that to me felt very surface level, very emotional, but not very honest. Her post said that the dating pool in South Africa is bleak, that if you truly want a serious relationship, you need to travel, and that most men in South Africa are conditioned to being womanizers because it's normalized and feeds their egos and their addiction to sex. And when I read that post, my first reaction wasn't anger, it was disbelief because it felt so out of touch with the reality that most South Africans are living in. We are dealing with extreme unemployment. Young people are struggling to even afford transport to work interviews. Many people are supporting households with one income if they even have one. And yet, here is someone with a large platform casually telling young people, especially young women, to travel for love, as if love is hiding in Europe waiting for you, as if men suddenly become better people once they cross a border, as if cheating, lying, manipulation, and selfishness are uniquely South African problems. That post didn't just feel unrealistic, it quietly pushed an idea that I think many of us don't like to admit we've been taught for a very long time. The idea that men from outside, especially white men, are somehow better partners, better lovers, better providers, better people. Before we get into today's video, please like, subscribe, turn the notification button on so that you receive a notification every single time I post a video. This video isn't really about Lerato, she's just the starting point. This is about something deeper, something bigger, something global. I only have South Africa in the title for optimization, but we all know this is a global problem. Before anyone gets defensive, I want to be clear from the start. This is not about attacking interracial relationships. This is not about hating white men, and this is not about saying black women who date white men are doing something wrong. This is about questioning why whiteness is so often treated like an upgrade, like a prize, like proof of worth, and why so many black women consciously or unconsciously place white men on a pedestal. Now, we're going to look at different clips of this idolization of white men by black women.
When I met you, I really thought for the first time ever, wow, I didn't know black girls could be pretty like that. I didn't know that black girls could be that pretty. So really, I was astounded. It took me back. And
that's sweet. This white man gets to say this on camera, and that woman does not only take it, she chuckles, and it seems like she takes this as some sort of compliment. What's scary is not just what he said, but how normal she received it. Some people even defended him, saying he was just being honest or that he did not mean it badly. But let's flip it for 1 second. If a black man said that, whether to a white or a black woman, it wouldn't be acceptable, and that tells you everything you need to know about how whiteness is positioned in society. When a white man is ignorant, it's forgiven. When a black man is ignorant, it's condemned. And what hurts the most is that the black woman in that situation still accepted that as something close to a compliment because the validation came from a white man. And in a world that constantly tells black women they are less desirable, that kind of attention can feel powerful, even when it's deeply insulting. This doesn't happen in a vacuum. From a very young age, black women are taught directly and indirectly that white men are better through movies where the white man is the romantic hero and the black man is the side character or the problem, through advertisement where interracial relationships are shown as modern and aspirational, while black love is often associated with struggle, through stories where white men are portrayed as wealthy, gentle, emotionally available, and serious, while black men are painted as absent, aggressive, or unfaithful. And I know black screenwriters and directors contribute to these negative stereotypes, constantly showing black love as struggle love. It's what people like Tyler Perry keep perpetuating. So it's not surprising that many black women grow up believing that if a white man chooses them, it means something. It feels like proof that you are really beautiful, worthy, and exceptional. I know this because I believed it too at one point. I genuinely thought white men were better lovers, more stable, more richer, and not because of real life evidence, but because of what I had been shown over and over again. Growth later taught me something very simple but very important. Men are just men, different backgrounds, different cultures, but the same human flaws, the same capacity to love and to hurt, the same ability to be kind or cruel.
cling to you, pick on you all the time, and to always hold your hand forever, my love. The love I feel towards you is so powerful and profound. I am so stupidly in love with you. Indeed, we are a match made from heavens. I pray to God to always keep us together in one until death do us apart. The only man with the most good-looking beard and the baby-faced husband. I love you so much, baby. Today, tomorrow, yesterday, and forever. I love you so much, handsome. I love you so, so much.
When I watch this wedding clip, what stands out to me is not love, but disbelief. This black woman is crying hysterically as she married this white man. And while weddings are emotional, this feels deeper than joy. It feels like shock, like gratitude mixed with disbelief. And the uncomfortable truth is that she might not have reacted the same way if she was marrying a black man. Because somewhere deep inside, whiteness has been positioned as a win, as something rare, something to be grateful for. Love should not feel like you've beaten the odds solely based on someone's race. Love should not feel like you've won a competition. When it does, it says less about romance and more about internalized beliefs about worth. This one is the most uncomfortable for me. A black woman is on holiday, and white men who are complete strangers are kissing her, touching her, invading her personal space. And instead of discomfort, there is smiling, laughing, recording. Boundaries disappeared. And we need to be honest with ourselves. If those were black men, this might not have been perceived as cute or fun. It would have been called inappropriate, unsafe, and disturbing. Strangers are strangers regardless of race. The only reason this behavior was tolerated is because they were white men, and that should deeply concern us. When skin color alone determines how safe or acceptable behavior feels, that's not confidence, that is conditioned. It's strange to allow people you don't know to be that familiar with you, and it becomes even stranger when the only explanation is racial bias. And then there's this clip of a South African woman receiving a compliment from a white man and immediately saying to the camera that she must be really beautiful because even white people are complimenting her.
Thank you.
As if white approval sits at the top of the hierarchy, as if it confirms beauty in a way that no other compliment can. That's not self-love, that's hierarchy. That's colonial thinking surviving in modern language. I want to pause here and say this clearly. I'm not against interracial relationships. I could end up with a white man myself one day, and there would be nothing wrong with that. But the reason would be compatibility, values, shared goals, and emotional safety. Not because he's white, not because I believe white men are better. Choosing someone solely based on race is not preference, it is insecurity dressed up as taste. And idolizing any group of men will always lead to disappointments because you remove accountability the moment you place someone on a pedestal. We also need to stop pretending that white men are immune to doing black women dirty. South Africa alone has enough examples to shatter that illusion. Matthew Booth embarrassed his wife through infidelity. Dennis Zimba was cheated on by her white husband, and after the divorce, he went on to take the kids away from her, something no one ever thought would happen. Bobby Cooper's white husband wanted spousal support after their divorce, flipping the stereotype of the white male provider completely on its head. These are examples shared not to say white men are bad, they are shared to say that white men are also just human, capable of the same selfishness, the same entitlement, the same mistakes as any other man. Whiteness does not equal moral superiority. Although this video is specifically about white men and black women, the same can still be said with white women and black men relationships. You look at these two relationships and how South Africans reacted to their divorce. When it was said that Rachel is to get a lot of money from her divorce, a lot of people were on her side and happy for her. But with Ende, a lot of people were saying she's a gold digger and didn't deserve to get that much from her divorce. Mind you, she had been through the most in that relationship, and the husband did her so dirty, but it was still hard for some people to show sympathy to her. You can argue this has nothing to do with race, but I think not. The conversation about white men dating black women is sometimes treated like a taboo. When it's spoken about positively, it's framed as progress, open mindedness, or love that does not see color. When it's spoken about critically, people get defensive very fast. But the truth is, this topic deserves honesty, not slogans. White men date black women for different reasons, some healthy, some not. Ignoring that complexity does not protect black women, it actually leaves us more vulnerable. There are white men who date black women because of genuine attraction and connection. They grow up exposed to different cultures. They meet black women in school. They meet black women at work through friendships, and feelings develop naturally. In these cases, race is not the focus, it's simply part of who the person is. These relationships can be healthy, respectful, and loving, just like any other. Some white men are drawn to black women because of shared values, personalities, humor, emotional depth, or similar life goals. In those situations, the relationship may work because the woman is seen as a full human being, not a symbol or experience. Some white men are also more open to dating black women because they have rejected racial attitudes they grew up around. They consciously unlearn prejudice and actively choose partners outside of their race as part of living more honestly. This doesn't automatically make them heroes, but it does mean the relationship isn't rooted in superiority. In these cases, the man does not see himself as better or as doing the woman a favor. He understands that love is mutual and equal. But this is not the full picture, and pretending it is does black women a disservice. There is another side that needs to be spoken about clearly: fetishization. Some white men date black women not because they see them as individuals, but because they see them as an idea, an experience, a fantasy shaped by stereotypes. Black women are often portrayed as more sexual, more wild, more submissive, more nurturing, or more exotic. These ideas don't come from nowhere. They come from history, from slavery, from colonialism, from media, from pornography. When a white man is drawn to black women mainly because of these stereotypes, the attraction is not love, it's consumption. Fetishization can be hard to spot at first because it often looks like intense interest. Compliments come quickly, the attention feels flattering, but over time the pattern becomes clear. The man talks about black women as a group instead of seeing you as an individual. He compares you to other black women constantly. He makes comments about your body, your skin, your hair, your strength, your attitude, as if these traits exist only for his enjoyment. In these situations, the black woman is not fully seen. She is being dated but not truly known as an individual. Some white men also pursue black women because they believe black women will tolerate more. There is a stereotype that black women are strong, forgiving, long-suffering, and loyal to a fault. This can attract men who want emotional labor without accountability, men who believe black women will stay, enjoy, and fix them. In these cases, race plays a role not in attraction but in expectation. The relationship becomes unbalanced very quickly. To understand why some white men feel entitled to black women, we also have to talk about why some black women see white men as superior in the first place. This belief did not appear randomly. It was built over centuries. During colonialism and apartheid, white men were at the top of the social hierarchy. They controlled land, money, movement, and power. They were legally and socially positioned as authorities. Black men were stripped of power, dignity, and autonomy. Black women were placed at the very bottom, denied protection and respect. Over time, power became associated with whiteness. Wealth, safety, intelligence, and leadership were all coded as white. This might seem like I'm reaching, but this is the same reason why Elokshin, everything that is sophisticated or smart, is referred to as izinto zabelungu. These ideas didn't disappear when laws changed. They were passed down through families, institutions, and media. Even today, white men are still overrepresented in positions of power. They are still more likely to be seen as competent, calm, and trustworthy. That image affects attraction whether people want to admit it or not. Media plays a huge role in maintaining this hierarchy. White men are often showed as romantic leads, successful professionals, and stable partners, Black men are frequently shown as dangerous or emotionally unavailable, as I've said before. When Black women grow up consuming these images, it shapes desire at a subconscious level. Wanting a white man can feel like wanting safety, success, or escape. Not because white men are inherently better, but because society keeps presenting them as such. This is why some white men enjoy dating Black women in ways that boost their ego. Being chosen by someone who has been taught to see you as superior can feel powerful. It can feed a savior complex. In extreme cases, it feeds the idea that the white man is rescuing the Black woman from her environment, her culture, or Black men. That dynamic is unhealthy, even if it's not always obvious at the start. Also, some women date white men because they hate being Black, sadly. It happens with Black men who date white women too. They would even go as far as conforming to European standards of beauty, like straightening their hair, making their nose slimmer, and other things to kind of lessen their association to Blackness. They love the privileges they get from their proximity to whiteness and the idea of having mixed kids. Yes, that happens. And usually this would be evident in how they start to speak so negatively about Black people once they're in these relationships. In a healthy situation, everyone is allowed to have a preference, but once you start speaking negatively about the group that isn't your preference, that's just hate. Hate for people that look like you. It's also important to say that not every interracial relationship involves these dark dynamics, but pretending they never exist is dishonest. Race does not disappear just because two people are attracted to each other. These things sit quietly in the background and influence behavior, expectations, and power. For Black women, the danger is not dating white men. The danger is dating anyone from a place of inferiority. When a woman believes she is lucky to be chosen instead of equal, she's most likely to excuse disrespect. When she believes white men are better by default, she may ignore warning signs she would not accept from Black men. This is how fetishization and imbalance survive. The goal is not to police who dates who. The goal is awareness. White men who date Black women should ask themselves honest questions. Am I attracted to this person or to what she represents to me? Do I see her as an equal or as an experience? Do I listen when she talks about race or do I get defensive? Black women deserve partners who see them fully, not partially. White men are not automatically bad partners and they are not automatically good ones either. They are just human, capable of love and harm like anyone else. Understanding why they may want to date Black women both for healthy and unhealthy reasons and allows Black women to move through the world with clarity instead of fantasy. And clarity is always more powerful than illusion. The reason the idolization of white men needs to stop is because it costs Black women more than we realize. It teaches us to excuse red flags, to minimize disrespect, to accept less because we believe the association itself is the reward. It shifts focus away from behavior and onto appearance, away from behavior and onto symbolism. And love built on symbolism will always collapse when reality shows up. With time, growth taught me to judge people as individuals, not by skin, not by accent, not by where they come from. Good men exist anyway, so do bad ones. And Black women deserve love that is grounded in reality, not fantasy. Love that does not rely on white validation. Confidence that doesn't need to be confirmed by proximity to whiteness. This conversation is uncomfortable, but it's necessary because as long as white approval sits at the top, Black women will continue to question their worth. And we are worthy with or without it. Choose better, not whiter. I'd love to see what you guys think about this topic. Please leave your comments down below. And also like this video if you like it so that it will be pushed further. Thank you for watching.